now. You're rocking with the best. You are now rocking with the best.
Welcome. It's another not sponsored by Scooters 605 show.
Redacted. You
didn't see any of this. Men in Black.
I wish. That'd be fun.
What, to not remember things?
Yeah, just to be able to, like, hey, remember that time you were in 5th grade and you tripped going up the stairs at the assembly? That sucked. And be like, that'd be great to just...
You mean like every Sunday scary?
Yeah, like right-click, delete all of that.
Oh, yes. Like drag it like a Mac and then hear it delete. It's a peaceful sound.
Yeah.
Well, that was a bummer. We're here.
Welcome to the 605 show, everybody.
For you. We are not matching color-wise, but we both decided to go for the hoodie.
Conceptually, it made sense.
Because we're grounded.
I felt it in my heart.
Yeah.
Also, it's cold as hell in this building. So, like, our building
You're gonna
down
say
here.
outside.
No, it's super nice outside. It's warm. It's South Dakota in the middle of the summer. And everything that goes along with that. That being said, inside these walls, our guy was in here the other day doing like a laser thermometer, like the infrared on the vents.
Oh, fancy.
It was pushing out air that was like 62 degrees.
Whoa.
So we're all wearing like sweatshirts and blankets and all sorts of stuff in here.
Are they treating you guys like Vegas, where they just want you to stay awake?
But it's having the opposite effect on me. Like when it's cool, it's cooler, I start to doze.
Yeah.
I sleep better when it's cold.
Do you flip your pillow to get the cold side?
Always. I've got one of those
ride?
like cooling pillows. It's
You
got like
would.
you know what I mean? It's kind of nice.
Is that the only time you're happy?
It's not true.
I
get happy every now and again.
You know what is true? It's July.
It is July.
And
A lot
we
of stuff
have
happening this summer, huh?
So much happening.
Tell me about the what issue are we on?
Hey, thanks for asking. I'm glad. The July issue is the outdoors.
Yep.
Because you know what, guys? It's cold in here. Let's get outside.
Yeah, let's do it.
Now that the insects were blasted.
Oh, yeah. They went around and just dropped a couple of...
Good God.
Dirty bombs, sprayed the streets.
That was one of the only times I ever wanted to write the mayor and be like, hey, skeeters, what's up?
We might have to do like a poll or something because like I didn't experience... Like I was
Really?
outside quite a bit the last few weeks since like June. I didn't experience much at all.
Oh my God, they love
that.
my blood. They love my skin. I don't know what it is.
You almost said your blood.
They love my blood.
My blood. They love my blood.
They make me bleed my own blood, and I don't appreciate it. But anyways, outside, the outdoor issue is out now. Adventure along with us as we visit destinations like Palisades State Park and Outlaw Square, and stick around for a feature on ice cream throughout the state. How sweet.
We love it.
It is. Read more at 605magazine.com. You know what I mean? Do you like ice cream?
I do.
They're going to say no, and I was just going to throw something at you.
No, I like ice cream. I have heavy eyebrows. That's all. I'm not really grumpy. I like ice cream.
You're just like Bert.
Yeah, I'm just like, you know what I mean? Yeah, just a little brooding. That's just how it came out. It's just how the face is. Sorry, folks.
Yeah.
What kind of ice cream do you like?
Mint chip. I'm a mint chip gal.
Damn it. Hell yeah, mint chip.
Oh, yeah, right?
Mint chip is the
Righteous.
best. Yeah.
Yes.
That or like maybe like a Rocky Road might be second.
You know what's really good, though, that I always forget about? It's just a good old vanilla with a little hot fudge.
Who are the guys that do Stensland? So Stensland.
Yes.
Thinking of Stensland. They're like, whatever it is, they're OG farmhouse. Mm-hmm. That stuff, the vanilla stuff, is fantastic. Shameless plug. Not a paid sponsor.
Coming right from
but
that
hey,
cow,
guys,
baby.
Hey, guys, hit us up. Yeah, they just keep their cows.
They're in the issue.
Yeah, they just keep their cows in the freezer and then...
Yank them.
I guess.
They got them teats.
What are you doing? I'm just yanking cows in the freezer this morning. Hang on.
You know?
Man.
Happy cows.
Worst job ever.
Oh, my God. Well, guess what? You know what's finally here? Cooking on Kimpiska.
We've been talking about this for a while.
We have been. And now it's actually time again. July 18th through the 20th. Stokes Thomas, Lake City Park, Watertown. Get ready to sizzle your taste buds and enjoy some family-friendly fun at Cookin' on Kimpiska.
We love it.
The 3-day festival offers a delicious celebration of barbecue and community spirit. Nothing like community spirit.
No, food helps.
It does help.
You know what I mean?
It really does.
Food helps a lot with that.
Brings her energy back up. The weekend begins with Thursday Night Live on Lake Kimpiska with music from Flashback. And plenty of activities for everyone. Friday features a People's Choice Chislik competition, inflatables for kids, and music. Get ready for a smoking good time on Saturday with a People's Choice pork competition, a beanbag tournament, more live music by the Johnny Holm Band, and the Kimpiska Olympics. More info, cookingoncampesca.com.
I feel like your monologuing has gotten better.
Thank you.
Yeah. I can
I've
tell
really
you've been
working on
workshopping it a little bit. Yeah.
Good. And I've had a lot of coffee today.
I've had a lot of caffeine.
I think
today.
that
That's
helps.
Good. That's good. I like it. No, this sounds like an awesome thing. By the time you're listening to this or watching this, it's happening.
So get
Like,
out there.
You're gonna be listening to this like later tonight or tomorrow. It's happening. So just go to Watertown.
Just go now.
Drive until you hit the water. Yep. Go now.
Go until you see the water.
Yeah.
And then we have the Storybook Land Festival, July 19th and 20th at Wiley Park in Aberdeen. Prepare for a whimsical adventure at this year's Storybook Land Festival. Experience a world of imagination at Wiley Park, capturing all the myth and magic of classic nursery rhymes. Compete with a medieval castle surrounded by knights in armor. This actually sounds pretty
Yeah.
dope.
It sounds pretty baller.
This is getting better.
Yeah. You're hamming it up, but this sounds like a good time.
Other entertainment options include music, jugglers, I love a good balloon twist, and hands-on activities. More info, visit aberdeensd.com.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Who's there's actually a guy, I love him. His name's Mr. Twister, and he is a balloon guy. Why is that funny? It's his job.
Nope. It's a family show.
Oh my gosh. And then every single time my sister-in-law tells my brother, she's like, you would be so good at that, honey. And he's like, stop talking to me.
Mr. Twister.
She wants him to be the next Mr. Twister.
Hey.
That spot's taken.
Well, I don't know. It's in your blood. You know what I mean? It's destiny. It's not a job. It's a calling.
It really is.
You know what I mean?
But do check him out. He is pretty great. Anyways,
know.
I don't know if he'll be the one at the castle, though.
It would be a shame if he wasn't. Sounds like he's the top of his industry.
really
Do you
is.
remember medieval times before they shut all that down?
They're shut down now?
Well, I don't know. I feel like it kind of dried up. Business kind of dried up. Somebody verify. Hit the comments. Let me know.
I always sit in the Black Knight section.
Okay, I was black or blue. Was my always like because the blue knight always seemed to win.
Oh, there you
You
go.
know what I mean? But
Yeah, Merlin would always come up to me and be like, like giving me the 1-2.
No,
you know?
we had a medieval time, like the OG one down in like Anaheim, California. We
So
used to
good.
go sometimes. Oh yeah, it's a heck of a time. That was like a backup career for me for a while.
Oh, for sure.
Like as like a high school kid, I was like, well.
So you
if
wanted
I-
to win, or did you want to be the bad one?
It doesn't matter.
You're a
You know what
bad boy.
I mean? Yeah, it just seems like I don't know.
Or you could just be Merlin and just flip everybody off.
I could just be Merlin. That's more fitting for my personality.
That'd be great. Yeah, it'd be kind of boring to win every time, you know?
I think so. He's more curmudgeonly.
Yeah.
Hermit is.
Do you think they
Merlin
had
is.
like medieval times like groupies?
Oh, you know they have.
They're like, oh my god, you won.
Especially all the people are like into cosplay and stuff like that. And,
Oh.
like the whole like circuit of Renaissance fairs and like Comic Con people. You know, there's a whole underground.
And they give that big old turkey leg.
That big old greasy. Everyone's just covered in turkey. Everyone's just shiny
Gluttonous.
because they're glistening from all the turkey grease.
So much oil
Yeah.
happening there.
God.
For
Anyways,
multiple reasons.
Yeah. Sorry about the medieval times rabbit hole. I just it felt like
Let's
that was
never forget.
Yeah.
Don't be ashamed
R.I.P.
of your game. Days of 76 is also great. July 21st through 27th. Woo, that's a long day. Days of 76. Days of 76 Event Center in Deadwood. I have not been. I've always wanted to go. Travel back in time. Hey, you could still go back in time. But to the heart of the Black Hills, at Deadwood's legendary Days of 76 celebration, the annual event pays homage to the area's rich history with a thrilling rodeo, parades, and a lively atmosphere. Professionals will participate in the PRCA rodeo events, and vendors will line the facility with an array of extensive goods. Throughout the week, there will be events for the whole family to enjoy. More info, daysof76.com.
I like how you pronounced a few of the words in there, like when people start pronouncing different cheeses or like
The parade?
pastas. Yeah, somebody be talking normal and all of a sudden they'll drop like a rigatoni, and you're like, whoa, calm down.
Spaghetti.
Yeah,
Yeah,
calm
who's
down.
that one chick? She's like on the, is it Giada? She's the girl on the Food Network. And she'll be like, now next you take the spaghetti.
Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking. Oh, it looks like he's got 3.5 ounces of mozzarella, and it's like, whoa,
yeah.
I didn't know. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. Or people that are like, caprese.
Yeah.
But then, you know, it's better than the caprese salad.
Yeah, I'll have your caprese salad.
But now that we've covered the forefront, let's get dirty with Toni Woodruff from the Buffalo Chip coming to us via Zoom. How's it going?
It's going great. You guys have really brightened my day. Thank you.
Fantastic. I don't know if you were prepared to get this dirty, as Alana said.
I
You know what
wasn't
mean?
prepared for the dirty remark. Otherwise, it would have been much more whippy. But I just can't think of anything at the moment.
We love it. Well, welcome,
how's it
Toni.
going? Welcome back. You've been on before in person.
Yeah, it's been a while, I guess, but it's always a pleasure to come on the show. And of course, anything South Dakota is kind of my passion. So
For sure.
thank you for, 605ing it.
Oh, yeah.
Same. We it's right there in the name.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
so
know.
Tony was on at the tourism conference
Oh, heck
when we
yeah.
had the podcast out there
Oh,
a couple
fantastic.
times. We got to bring
Awesome.
that back sometime.
We need to get on the road.
Yeah.
We need to. Yeah. Now that we have like a legit producer, it's not me trying to make that work. Like we have a legit
That was nice.
guy. You know what I mean? Like we
As
could.
he stares at his
we could
phone.
really do a lot of cool stuff now.
Does not
Well, it's
care.
great to be back.
Yeah, we should bring
Thank you
that
for
back.
having me.
Well, welcome back. What is new at? Well, okay. Let's pretend someone lived in a hole. What is the Buffalo Chip?
Well, it is the largest music festival in motorcycling and the best party anywhere. It's a large festival experience and concert event that happens during the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally annually. And we're going on our 43rd, 44th, depending on if you look at it as an anniversary or an annual event. So, but yeah, this is next year we're getting ready to kind of promote the 45-85 because next year will be the 85th Sturgis Motorcycle Rally and we'll be celebrating our 45th annual event at that time. So it's
Crazy.
a business, it's, continued on because the people who come here make it great.
Yeah.
Well, and you guys have had some big names. Like people were like, think of Sturgis in the rally. It's obviously a massive draw for a bunch of people, but like even from acts, like people that come play out there, like it's impressive. Right?
I think it even surprises us because, I always say that my father started this business. He was an attorney, a criminal defense attorney in the area, and he started this business because he saw a need for camping because people were getting kicked out of the city park. And so he said, come out to this property, we'll sell you some beer and you can pitch your tent and we'll get someone to play guitar, right? So we started out at just a party in the pasture, and now with opening act with a local guitarist, and the next year was bigger, and the next year is bigger, and pretty soon we became a globally recognized brand across the world. We do large scale acts. We've had Bob Dylan, Kid Rock, Toby Keith, every genre. Some people started before they were well known and then became well known while they're here. We had that happen with a number of our artists but it's really fun. We've had Willie Nelson, we've had legends, and we've had up and comers, and we've had every genre of music you can probably think of, from hip hop when we had Snoop Dogg one year, surprised the heck out of everybody. And this year we have Jelly Roll, and
Ooh,
that's
Jelly
a
Roll.
really
A little bit of both, best of both
Jelly
worlds.
Roll, yeah.
That's a good get.
Yeah, that's a good get.
Yeah.
That's
We
exciting.
were lucky. We were able to announce him the night before he received his CMT award
Yeah.
for New Artist of the Year. So we kind of got on the up line of that, and it's been a lot of fun. People are very excited about him. We're excited to have him here, and it'll be a new adventure for us. And then we have we call it our rock and roll year because we have Kid Rock returning, who's almost becoming a secondary house band to Leonard Skinner's, right? So he's always popular when he comes here, and a lot of people are excited for his return. He's one of the best entertainers I've ever seen. When I saw him the first year he played for us, I think was in 2004, and I remember seeing him up on the stage, and he was kind of coming out of his hip hop into his new genre at that time, and I said, gosh, that guy can sing anything, and he's so entertaining. He'll be in 10 years, he'll be our Vegas act.
That's so funny. Give him a residency up
And
there.
I'm kind of right.
Please do.
And just to think, all of this because your dad started a thing in the yard as a referral business. He got tired of getting all these guys that were getting citations, and he's like, hey, refer your friends. Just come drink in my pasture. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you got a global music festival on your hands.
Yeah, it kind of happened like that. Our father has really always been strongly about people's right for freedoms and just expressing themselves and being able to appreciate all those things that we have here in South Dakota and in the United States, where you can just get on your bike and go ride and meet people and, have fun together. And it's really just, it kind of came out of his sense of, the wind in your hair, freedom feeling, and come and play with us. And so he didn't like when they told him you can't do something.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bad idea.
That's good
That's a sure bet you're going to be doing it.
Oh, for sure.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a
What was
lot.
the
So
first
that's what
year
we-
that like you realized you were getting bigger acts, and do you know like why it was different that year?
Well, we had a really big explosion in the 90s when the 50th anniversary for the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. It was like an exponential growth. We kind of have these peaks, that come like these little paradigm shifts that happen. And the 50th anniversary, I don't think anybody from this area will ever really forget it, because it was one of those where you were expecting, 12 people to the dinner party in your 500 square foot apartment, and you get, 5,000. And so it was just this huge event that kind of took over. And we had the year we had Def Leppard play for the first time when they were, brand new at their biggest first hit album in the 90s. It was just overwhelmingly huge. And that was a shift where we thought, okay, we need to change some things up. When we had to build our new stage, Leonard Skinner came and they said, "We love you, man, but we can't play on that stage. So if you build us a new stage, we'll come back." So we built a new stage the next year, which allowed us to play any act that was, available at that time, really to that scale. And so that was really exciting. So we just kind of have grown organically over the years based on people's interests and needs. And our music has done the same as well. I think that Woody he's an independent promoter, the Buffalo Chip, we are, but I always give him the credit because he's kind of like the Bill Graham of the world now, with the independent promoter. So he just kind of has these interesting pairings of musicians that he puts together, with my brother Damon now helping manage our music along with our talent buyer. And they just kind of think of these, what seemingly seems odd sometimes matches perfect once we get it put together. So
Yeah.
we've had magic a few times out here.
So did you get high with Willie Nelson?
Hey, it's a
No,
family
but it
show.
was pretty easy to have contact time by just walking around.
God, I'm sure.
I have to say, my Willie Nelson story is one of my favorite Buffalo Chip stories. I mean, in all the years that this has been a part of our family business, and I've been here actively involved in the business for 25 years, it gets all blurry, but there's a few things that stand out. And the night Willie Nelson played was really awesome because, the backstage was all cleared, and there wasn't meet and greet, and it was very quiet backstage. And so just kind of one or two people. And usually we have a family meeting. We call it Woody's Welcome, or the Woodruff Welcome. And we thank people for coming and playing on our stage and for joining us in South Dakota. And Woody wasn't available at that time for another reason. And so I was the only family member who could meet him. So I thought, well, gosh, I'm just going to go by myself, walking him down this very quiet backstage corridor. And he's just sitting there at the end like, "Oh, hi, and how are you doing?" And he was just the most congenial, welcoming, kind soul. And we had the nicest visit, and, no pictures, no anything, it's just in my head. So as soon as my brain goes, then there goes that too. But it was really sweet. And then he got up on the stage, and it was a great show, because sometimes you get with Willie Nelson, it's a good show, or sometimes it's an interrupted show. And it was just a phenomenal show that night. And the weather was perfect. It was a perfect South Dakota evening. Great food there. People had a lot of fun. So
That's
that's
fantastic.
my little.
I love that. So yeah, what else can people expect this year? Oh, and talk about the dates too.
Oh, the date. So our first concert is Friday, August 2nd. We're opening, I had to look down because I don't know all the dates anymore, but we're just kind of opening on Friday, August 2nd. It will run through Saturday, August 10th. We have our opening, we have bare knuckle fighting, which is a finals championship, which is a big
Let's go.
draw right now, especially because there's a women's fighting, that's their championship that a lot of people are paying attention to. That's
lose
on
so
Saturday,
bad.
August 3rd. Yeah,
Should get Greta in
it's
on that.
intense, and a lot of interest in that. So we have Travis Tritt and where's the lineup here? Jelly Roll Dasha is opening up for Jelly Roll. We have Theory of a Dead Man. We have our Daredevil Wednesday coming, where we'll do Daredevil acts. That's kind of been our return, where we had like the Flying Walendas, being jumped by a motorcycle artist. So it's just crazy. I don't know. And my brother goes through like a wall of, Monster energy drinks on his mini bike expedition. And Camp Zero has a lot of activities. They have the mini bike rodeo, and we have the Sportster Showdown and a swap meet and different antics over at Camp Zero. It's really fun. They have a good time over there. Their motto is "Do it wrong."
Oh my gosh, yes.
So that seems like something you guys would like. Our Camp Zero camp out is they just kind of have a lot of fun being goofy and silly and having like green grass races and the barrel races and a lot of fun antics. And then that is also our environmentally friendly for Forever 605 for campaign, and kind of marrying with that is that leave no trace. So we have this Sons of Smoky trash cleanup.
Oh, there you
so
go.
they go around and do a cleanup during rally. So that'll be a kind of a fun thing. But we have Kid Rock, Buck Cherry, Brett Michaels of Poison, if we all want to go back to the 90s and remember.
Yes, or Rock of Love. Bless.
Yes, the Rock On.
Like, never forget Rock of Love.
I'll never forget the first time Brett Michaels and Poison played here, because it was the days of sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And those guys were so entertaining. I just thought they were hilarious. But yeah, it was a busy day.
I'm sure.
I can imagine.
So we have Aaron Lewis from our countryside of the world, and Quiet Riot. Along the way too, we have different events. So we have Fan Fest and contests that go on our secondary stages. And we have our charity rides that come up as well. So our Legends Ride and Biker Bells and Rusty Wallace rides. So
I love it.
And then probably one of our biggest things is on Thursday, our Freedom Celebration, which is where we honor active and veteran military personnel. We give a Bob Hansen Award in recognition and honor of Bob Hansen, who was a local World War II POW from the Bison area of South Dakota. So we do a presentation on the stage that night on Thursday. And then we also have our Freedom Field of Flags, which is a memorial field. And that event is a community event where we raise 800 flags for the field that stay up throughout the rally. And it is backed by a replica of the Vietnam Vet Wall. And that is open to the public to come and join us on the 27th of July. And it will start at 5:30.
Oh, that's awesome.
To join us for that is definitely a very honoring and just, I don't know, it's a great community event. People really enjoy it once they've experienced it. So they come repeatedly. We've done it for many years now. In our Freedom Celebration, I always get it wrong because I think it's been longer, but I actually think it's like 28 or 29 years that we've been doing it. So we have a lot going on. Yeah. You just pick your category and we'll find you some fun.
I was gonna say, you sound very busy. I'm tired for you.
Yeah.
Well, and this weekend we have the Get On Fest, which is an ADV motorcycle festival that started today. It starts today and it goes through Sunday morning. And they have clinics and superstars and demo rides for adventure biking and off-road riding throughout the Black Hills. And it's a great event. It's grown. This is the 4th year that we've done that. They camp out and then they take their adventure bikes up in through the beautiful Black Hills. And then they come back and stay at what we call Adventure Beach during adventure time and Bikini Beach during rally time. But it's a swimming hole.
I love it. So do you think during the rally, like, people kind of get to, they love it so much because they get to kind of take their day version of themselves and be someone else for a week?
Yeah, I think that maybe they're someone else most of the rest of the time. And when they show up here, their true selves come out. But
yeah,
for better or worse, right?
Yeah, exactly. Mostly for better. People kind of have this misperception of who shows up for rally and who the motorcycle community really is. But when you look at the demographics, most of them are, about average 55 to 65 years old with a little bit of the heavier side into the baby boomer group who will never, ever stop having fun till they last breath. And, all the way to the new millennials who love to have fun as long as you provide them a cabin with some air conditioning and a pillow.
That's so
And so,
You're not
but
wrong.
they all have a lot of fun. And, they're upper middle class with disposable income. Per head, a motorcycle tourist spends more money per day on their vacations than the average. And they have a lot of outside interests, outdoor sports and cars and hobbies. And so when you come here and you start meeting people, maybe you're camped out to somebody you never knew before, right? And you make friends. And I'm not kidding, lifelong friends have been formed here. Many marriages, many funerals, probably many babies made.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't ask questions, but I think they did.
Real.
I'm certain of it. You do the math. Yep. Just go back and be like, oh, when were you born? Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Rally. Baby.
Yeah. Well, then they come back with their kid. Like, once their kid turns 21 or whatever, they come back for the father-son trip or the family reunion. It is crazy. I hear all kinds of stories of people who've been with us. I remember celebrating our 25th anniversary, right? So which is hard to believe now because I did a photo book of a history of the buffalo chip for that year. And now it seems so out of date and archaic. But, I remember this couple that had been here. I met two couples. One had been here every year since the first year.
Jeez.
And I thought, oh my God, who does the same thing every year for your 2 weeks of vacation from your regular job, right? And they do that because we throw them a great party and they have fun, make new friends. And then the other couple they hadn't been here since the first one. They came for the first one and for the 25th. And it was really fun to talk with them to hear about what had changed, in that time period and what their observations were. Mostly that we got really good showers and toilets and, grass and, plumbing and
That helps.
Cabins, RVs with hookups,
Oh, okay.
Those things were much different than the late 80s, for sure. So.
Oh, no. Yeah. It's like show up, pack water, don't die. Like, that's.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yep.
See you on the other side. But yeah, it's really fun to see all the different people from the walks of life. And there's some people who they met here and they come back every year to be with that same group of people as a reunion. And definitely, and even for us who work in the industry and for work here at the Buffalo Chip, when we hire families of people, right? It's dangerous if you're related to my family to know us because you will work for us because, it's still a mom and pop Buffalo Chip, South Dakota family run business, right? It's a tourism business for the state. And we operate a lot like that, where it's just like all hands on deck, get the work done. You come from an agricultural community, and you don't get vacations. It's kind of like raising children. If they're sick, you're still working, and if you got cows out, you're still working. If it's Christmas, and like the same thing with the family business operation. So for the Buffalo Chip people, a lot of times just think like this is our time that's busy. 2-3 months a year. It's kind of like teachers. They have the summers off, but that's not really true.
Right.
And so we don't really have it off either. We're working all year long. People don't realize that we have over 20 full-time year-round employees, and that we're working all year long to plan for this event and next year's event already as well. And then, during their rally, we'll hire over 400 or 500 people throughout the season and throughout the event. So we've certainly grown as a business from a party in the pasture. We're a little bit bigger pasture now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Hey, Dan, I want you to read. You want to kick off the game? I'm really excited about this, Toni.
Oh no,
I think
I'm
you're gonna
scared.
like it.
I got all my notes. I got my notes in front of me. I got the Gazette so I could remember what days everybody was playing. I forgot to tell you.
All right, it's time to get into this
You
game.
asked me later about Saturday mini kiss contest.
Oh,
So,
yes.
Yeah, I had to go. I have to cheat. I have a cheater.
I love it.
That's not cheating. That's just being prepared. All right.
Anyway,
So we're going to do this
Game
game.
on.
The game is Rally Tally. So this is going to kind of be like a points-based game. We're going to be able to accrue points for things that we've seen. So it's kind of like a bingo type, put a finger down if you ever kind of thing. So do we have a... Tone, you got a pen on you?
every time you say that, I think you're talking to me.
I apologize. Here he comes. Nice toss. Thank you to our senior executive producer, Antonio.
Look at you today.
Yeah, me? I got a good sleep last night, so feeling a little more chipper today than normal. All right, folks, here we go. Rally tallies. We're going to keep track of points for anything you have seen either at the Sturgis rally or another rally or festival of similar repute.
Ah, yes.
So we're going to tally our points and receive a score. So I'm going to keep a tally for everybody. Okay. First item, assless chaps.
Seen them.
Oh, I've seen assless chaps.
Oh yeah, but you should get a certificate before you're allowed to wear them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sir, do you have a permit for those?
For that ass.
It's in my other pair of assless chaps. I left it at home. Sorry, sir. Got to have a permit. I too, unfortunately, have seen a pair or pairs of assless chaps. Okay, technical difficulties during a concert, Toni. I would venture to guess this is a yes for you.
Yes, that has happened. I think our biggest one was when our transformer blew. So that was a year where, you don't just, when you live in the middle of the country in a small resource town, it's not like you can just call the next metropolitan area and air back a transformer. So that year we learned very quickly that we would always have backup giant ass transformers.
Well, now it's an acoustic show, so have fun.
Exactly.
Now it's a strip set.
All right, Kid Rock, get at it.
Yep. Here's a guitar.
Alana? Yeah, actually, our transformer got blown out too for the classic.
Interesting.
Yep. Show was over.
Show's over. Yep. Now it's just Alana doing Sheryl Crow and Kid Rock covers.
Now I just Mr. Twister, the balloon man.
Ms. Twister.
Do you want a sword or a giraffe?
Yeah, well, it could be both.
It could be either.
All right, motorcycle crash.
Yes.
I have as well. Actually, it was a motorcycle crash of someone coming back from Sturgis, and he could not get his motorcycle up at the gas station. So I don't know if he
Does that count as a crash, though, at a festival? That seems like an adjacent event.
Oh, yeah, I guess it really wasn't it was at the gas station leaving Sturgis. But
I don't know, Toni, how stringent are we with this?
Well, I would still give her a point, but I have one we had a bike go off the stage once.
Oh my God.
Probably not something I'm supposed to talk about very frequently, but we all remember that one really well.
It's probably been long enough.
Oh, well,
yeah.
Speaking of, we'll go to the next one.
I don't want it to ever happen again, but yeah, I have seen them. And, they're really, we're really well supported by like the Russ Brown attorneys and the BAM group for motorcycle safety. So we do a lot of safety instruction, throughout our charity rides and the events. And then we have those people on site. We also have our own medical paramedics and medical staff here under the direction of a doctor at the CHIP. So we can handle a lot of the emergencies here and then have them triaged and escorted to other services as needed. That is unique to the Buffalo CHIP for festivals in general to have the quality and level of access of what we have. We also have Life Flight that is here, the stations off of our property for the east region of this area. So it's really nice.
I would imagine that most of your guys' incidents are like, it's dehydration, it's alcohol poisoning, it's food poisoning, it's heat stroke. That's got to be 90% of what they're dealing with. And then like once every couple of years, somebody really screws up a limb. You know what I mean? Like
Brett Michaels.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct. Most people are not used. Most people are not used to South Dakota weather, so they kind of don't realize that they're dehydrating themselves a lot when you're out riding in the wind, and then you come back and you have a few beers with your friends and you go to the concert, you haven't eaten, and it just keeps going like that. So most of the things we have are like medication related, where they're diabetic or heart medication that they are off schedule on or got dehydrated, overheated. So and then pipe burns from their legs, from riding in shorts and flip-flops.
That hurts. I've had that happen.
Sucks.
Yeah, so those are the majority. It's very rare. We have saved a few people's lives with heart attack, cardiac stuff, where we've been able to intervene and help them get the right care. So that's
Yeah.
been very.
But if not,
rewarding.
what a way to go.
What a way to go. Speaking
Yeah.
of Bret Michaels forgetting his insulin, a bar fight is our next one.
A what?
A bar fight.
Oh, bar fight?
Let's,
Gosh, have I witnessed a bar fight? I mean, I know that there have been. Yeah.
because I would say
Yeah.
let's even broaden that to like a brawl. Because like, let's be honest, like that's going to happen in a field. Like it's still like theoretically they're the same.
Well, in concerts, like pushing and
Yeah,
usually
when we
pushing
go, when we go
escalates.
beyond like a mosh pit to like now
yes.
we're, you
Moshed.
know, now we're calling for Bret Michaels' blood. You know what I mean? Like we're
Bret Michaels, what did he do?
I don't know. You brought it up. I just I don't know.
Why do I keep thinking
Well,
of
the
his
truth
nipples?
is, I usually see them kind of interrupted before they turn into a big event because we have our really good security guys, and I think like they're a little bit intimidating. We have this one gentleman on our security that's just kind of like a Norse god, and he just kind of has to stand there. And then I remember one time these two younger kids, they're college kids from Black Hills State, and they're just misbehaving and being antics. And I mean, he just kind of like reached over like this.
Just picked them up and moved them.
And then moved them.
No, thank
And
you.
So,
Well,
usually we're able to kind of prevent escalation. But yeah, I'm sure, people, Dad always says that, really the key is to give enough people room to play so they don't feel like they're trapped.
Yeah.
And if you give them enough room to play, everybody finds their playground and has a good time. And so far, we've been able to keep growing our playground so that, everybody can come here and find their spot.
there you go.
It's cool. Dad sounds like a smart guy.
Wise man.
Very cool. All right, let's move on through a couple more. Let's
But
see.
how about a drug deal?
How about a drug deal?
No, I have not seen a drug deal.
She blinks in the camera. No, do not ask me about Willie Nelson buying weed at the festival.
I played the fifth.
Yeah, I'm gonna plead the fifth on that as well.
I think he probably comes with his own stuff.
I don't think he's doing a deal.
Trust me, he's got a kit. He has a.
Yeah,
he's prepared.
Well, isn't it like, and Snoop Dogg actually travels with his own weed man?
That doesn't
I
surprise
didn't
me.
meet the weed man.
Yeah, see, he has his own weed man
Yeah.
that rolls his joints.
Yeah, like Kobe Bryant
Well,
traveled with
I
a trainer.
didn't know that.
It makes sense. You know,
But
Snoop Dogg. RIP, yeah.
Too soon.
It makes sense.
I have to say, the first year we had Snoop Dogg, people thought we were crazy. And, it was really a stretch for a venue, especially in the middle of South Dakota, to put this hip hop band, and rap artist, black artist on the stage in the middle of a historical motorcycle rally event. It would be unprecedented. And I'd have to say that Snoop Dogg's team was the most professional team I have ever worked with in production, as far as like, if they said they'd be there at 12, they were there at 12. They weren't there at 12:02 or 11:58. And they were all dressed in suits and ties, very customary to a cultural style. And they were really easy and wonderful to work with. And
Wait, was
he
Snoop
got
wearing
up.
a suit?
Never.
Yeah, then he changed,
Oh, interesting.
He's-
Maybe he was. Yeah, I was like, never.
But
I would
he,
catch up with a suit.
So fancy.
But it was really cool. It was a great show, and people didn't realize that a bunch of white guys really like rap music. So
Once you open your heart up
out there are listening to ZZ Top and rap, right?
Yes.
When you think about the people in the music and all this stuff, it's a unifying tool, right? Like everyone can get behind good music and everybody can get behind Snoop Dogg. It's my platform.
Yeah. But I
I'd
did
like to
not
be
meet
behind
his
Snoop
personal
Dogg.
weed. I didn't meet the personal weed man, so he was probably busy.
He will,
He's probably rolling
undoubtedly.
them joints.
This one's interesting. Paragliders.
Yes.
Oh.
Well, not paragliders, per se.
Was it
I guess-
parachutes?
Parachute.
See, this is
shooting.
paragliders. I
The
can't give it
Golden
to you, Tony. I'm
Eagles.
sorry.
No.
It says
Okay, I don't get
paragliders.
it.
Alana.
Well, and then I'm assuming you've seen someone calling an ambulance. I've never seen a paraglider. Have you seen a paraglider?
Yeah.
You have?
I've never seen
Not
a
at a festival,
paraglider.
but
I'm sorry, what?
I haven't seen a paraglider,
No.
just a paratrooper.
ambulance. Someone calling an ambulance. You've probably called one.
I have not called the ambulance, but I have been in our medical staff when an ambulance was needed, and
There you
they
go.
called them and they came out.
We're giving it to you. Alana.
I don't think I've seen an ambulance at a festival.
Oh, okay.
Have you?
I have.
Was it for you?
It was not.
Good.
Yep. Moving on. Someone getting a DUI. Yeah, yes, mine is a yes. I've seen that.
Yeah, not on the property, but of course out on the outer roads, yes.
For sure.
But that's why we created a campground. That is why the original campground started, was so that people could just pitch their tent and stay. So if you're going to play, stay.
Yeah,
and that was
as well.
really part of Woody's.
Look at you with your rhymes.
I know. Well, I'm a
He's been hanging out with Snoop Dogg.
So yeah, stay and play.
Stay and play.
We dig it. Let's see. Someone getting. Oh, I didn't see. You ever seen somebody at the rally or anything like that getting in some sort of a
DUI? I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay. I saw somebody get a public, like a drunk disorderly, like a D&D. Like they got a. So I don't know. That's close enough. That's basically a version of you're too drunk to be on your feet. So, I mean,
Or peeing in public.
Yeah.
Go home.
Yeah, something like that. So you get a public intox or a drunken disorderly. So I've seen that. Someone getting married at the rally. I would imagine this has got to be a yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I've participated in those. We have a lot of those. Actually, we just had that call yesterday. Who can marry me at the chip?
Oh.
So we have, yeah.
So
we
Brett
have
Michaels.
Yeah, not Brett. I
No,
don't.
guy,
It's
you ever
not
heard Brett Michaels?
If you're
What is he
drinking,
doing?
the
Have
I
drinking
ever
game
met
is
him?
Brett Michaels.
Was Brett Michaels the guy that had he had the VH1 show, right? Like the bad
Rock of
reality
Love.
show? Yeah, is that
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
He was a dirty dog.
Oh.
He got straight nasty. And is that a real tan or is that because
No.
I mean I feel like really
No, there's no way. It's not real.
because I feel like that's like fake tan. I feel like it was like the real deal. He's probably doing a tanning bed with like a Playboy sticker.
That's still not real though. Like a tanning bed is still
well,
like
yeah,
an
it's still
accelerated. You know what I
real.
mean, you still get an asterisk next to your name, like Barry Bonds. Like you still.
It's real in the skin. The skin has the
Fair
lotion.
enough. It's
okay,
not
anyway.
like a spray. All right.
Man, speaking of
you've seen
tanning
somebody
beds,
getting,
oh yeah, sorry.
You seen somebody getting married?
Not get married, but someone had their reception at the Classic actually.
We'll count it. Why not? I'm not. I haven't. So I'm not getting that one. Oh, this one. Here we go. Public nudity or a streaker.
Yes. Again, it kind of falls into the category as the buttless chaps.
The first like thing you
have to
said,
get
you just looked
permits.
so like
Yeah, she was just like,
disappointed.
oh yeah.
Yes.
I knew they were gonna ask me this.
Well, it was like many years ago, before all the ordinances were in place that,
Yeah.
a lot of people ran around naked, but a lot of people shouldn't run around naked.
It's usually the people that run around naked that should not.
That was very diplomatic of you, Tony. Thank you for.
Yeah, like I've been to a nude beach and I shan't be going
I
back.
shan't be going back.
And there's always a really large man reading naked.
Yeah.
Take
I
that.
don't frequent
I
those.
had one offer me to use his pen once, like to sign something, and I was like,
Nah, dude, I'm good.
you can keep that.
Yeah, you keep that pen. That's your pen
I'll be
now.
fine.
again.
Thanks.
No.
It's like somebody touches something. You're like, oh, neat. And like, nope, that's yours. You own that.
No,
You take that
got
home.
that.
And so we know the answer to the next one.
Someone falling off the stage. We already know that. What
Yeah,
about
Steven Tyler.
Steven Tyler fell off the stage?
Oh yes.
you? This whole time we've been dogging
Yeah.
Brett Michaels. And who knew? Arwen's
Yeah,
dad.
no, it was a
Wasn't that
really
on the
big
news?
deal.
Yeah, it was on the news, right?
Yeah, it made global news.
Yes, I do remember that.
And Woody was exhausted from 48 hours of straight, TMZ and Wall Street Journal and everybody else calling to interview him. But
he okay?
it wasn't unfortunate. He was okay. We airbacked him out and he was fine. But he just took a misstep on his catwalk and while he was boogieing around out there and he fell on one of our security guys, thank God, broke his fall. And we whisked him off. But it was kind of funny because I try to go out for every show, every headliner, and just see one song being performed. I don't usually get to see like the whole shebang, right?
Yeah.
But I try to put a memory in my head of, Bob Dylan on our stage or, Aerosmith on our stage and what I remember about that. And so I could hear in the background, Aerosmith playing. They're kind of like middle of their set, like, maybe song 11, 12 or something. I'm like, I got to get out front of house. So I run out to front of house and I'm running up the stairs to top shelf, which is this great viewing VIP area that you can purchase that's right in front of the stage. And my brother's running down the stairs as I'm running up, and I'm like, why is he leaving? You know, and I get up there, and so when I started at the bottom of the stairs, I saw him on the stage singing, and then by the time I got to the top of the stage, and I look on the stage, and there's nobody. I was like, what happened?
Poor
So
guy.
that was an unfortunate incident, but yeah, it's been talked about for many, many years. I can't even remember what year that was, but I have a lot of fun memories of Steven Tyler that year, actually, because he came early to the Buffalo Chip, and his brother was here with his motorcycle. He was building motorcycles then, and they were here for a few days before the show. And Toby Keith played the night before him, and Toby's crew's good friends of ours, and I went up on the sound deck behind the stage so I could just see Toby's people up there and say hello, and Toby's just rocking it out. It was a great show, and I'm like, who's that like old guy, that little guy up there by the soundboard? It's like he's wearing these little blue wire rimmed glasses with this like big old cardigan sweater, and you know, it's
Bernie Sanders.
loafers. And then I'm like, and our stage production guy goes, that's Steven Tyler. I'm like, oh my gosh. But it was so fun to see. Steven Tyler was back on the sound deck, just rocking it out to
Very
Tony
gosh.
Keith. I thought,
You're like, who's that hip aunt?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, yeah, exactly. You know, it was crazy. That's what I love about the Buffalo Chip is you kind of have these unusual pairings of people playing near each other, and they get to see each other, and they're still in their music industry. They're still being inspired by the other musicians and artists around them. And that was a real memorable moment for me.
He was so inspired. He was floored.
Who's the mom in Freaky
Get
Friday?
it?
Yeah, I was so
Get it?
inspired that the next day he got too exuberant and went right off the edge.
So that one's worth 2 points. Now we're escalating.
Yeah, so that's my story.
Now we've escalated to 2 point things. So seeing somebody fall off a stage, especially Steven Tyler fall off a stage, is worth 2. So Tony's currently in the lead with 11 points. Okay, wardrobe malfunction during a concert or pageant.
No.
I haven't seen one.
I haven't, but I'm so jealous of anyone that saw Lenny Kravitz's dick. Remember when it fell out of his pants?
I don't. Tone, Google that.
Like,
I'm
it
kidding.
was
Don't.
so his pants.
Google
It's
that.
so giant. It fought its way out, and he kept going.
Did you,
Well, I think he's comfortable with that.
I would be.
Tony? Oh, you're a trooper. You know that? You're a trooper for hanging out with us through all this.
Oh,
Lenny
these are
Kravitz,
tough
don't at
questions.
us. Don't. Yeah, just don't.
He'd probably be like, "Yeah, it's big."
Let's see. That's a 0 for all of us. Alana gets minus 1 point for talking openly and enthusiastically about Lenny Kravitz's member. Ooh, this is a fun one. A stunt that caused a broken bone or a concussion. I would even just include this to like any act. So let's say it's a stunt or an act experiencing some sort of a broken bone or a concussion. I might just give Tony the points because Steven Tyler, that dude's like 40 pounds and 120 years old. He probably broke something.
We did have a pretty big stunt, the Tunnel of Fire, where we had a stunt performer, Clint Ewing, go through an entire burning tunnel of fire at the crossroads that ended with the oxygen like sucking the flames over him and causing some damage that was very significant. And he recovered, thankfully, and he, as part of the daredevil aspect of our daredevil lives. My brother going through the monster wall smash last year caused my mother quite a bit of anxiety, saying, don't crash into a wall intentionally.
Right.
If I had $1 for every time somebody told me that.
Don't.
So life is adventurous, and if you're living it correctly, you probably have a story of at least a broken bone or a rash.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, love a good rash.
Yeah. I did see a pretty significant injury, some X Games events down in Southern California. We used to have motocross and X Games and stuff like that, and seen a couple of good ones. So
Prof needed knee surgery after a classic.
Got it. 2 points.
That was pretty rough.
2 points all around. Let's see. A gang fight.
Oh,
No,
gang
I
fight.
haven't.
Because you're not really down in the mix of the rally. You guys are kind of a little bit removed, right? Because
They're like its own. It's its own world.
thing.
Yeah,
so you're a
well,
little bit different crowd up there.
I kind of what I've always observed is that during rally, like a lot of people have, especially since all the television shows and stuff, there's a lot of the focus on the outlaw clubs and that kind of thing. But one of the things that is out here at the Chip, especially is at Sturgis, and there's a lot of people truthfully on their vacation, and that includes the people that are parts of those club memberships and things as well. Yeah. So I really haven't seen that directly. But they have had incidences, throughout the area during rally, but for me personally, no.
Yeah, I think it's always a thing that people assume is worse than it is. Like if you've ever actually known anybody in a club, like a true MC, and like a 1%er thing where it's a legitimate MC, just like you would see on the TV shows. It's not actually like that. There's a lot of, I mean, they have some pretty strict codes of conduct. There's rules. Like a lot of that hierarchy is built on respect and things like that. And I've known a few guys that are in some different organizations, and they really stand-up guys. So I mean, obviously, there's always a few that are causing problems and stuff like that. But no.
Well, I leave that to law enforcement and their relations. They are all familiar with each other, and I just we are very grateful for all of the local and state agencies and things that work together for the rally. I worked really closely in the county, especially with what people don't think about. They think about those more exciting things, but they don't think about, like, what if there's a natural disaster or something, like how do you move people and how do you get that stuff. So a lot of our emergency personnel and our law enforcement agencies, we work really closely together just on trying to make sure that we're keeping populace safe and people moving through and having a good time. So we've always really respected and relied on and appreciate that relationship.
Yeah, well, you have to. Alana, gang fights?
Nah, brah.
Okay.
Sorry, our producer coughed earlier.
Oh, the tone? Is that you? No, he's all right. We'll edit it in post. We'll fix it in post. It can't be worse than the construction.
You're just so sweet to him today.
You know what I mean? He helps us out, makes us look good, makes us sound even better. All right, we're getting down to the final three, folks. I'm going to reverse the order of these.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually going to mix the order up so we end on a high note. Any sort of serious injury, and I'm going to add stabbing or shooting, any sort of violent act. And remember, folks, anything you've seen, not something you heard about on Twitter or saw after the fact.
I have not, for sure.
Anything we saw?
No.
Would we include a ball game? Like if I was talking about like a baseball game.
Baseball?
Yeah.
You saw someone shot or stabbed at a baseball game?
Yeah.
That's like the least violent sport.
Well, it wasn't related to the game. It was at the game. It was in the parking lot, unrelated to the game. But
interesting.
Yeah.
I would say that counts.
There's been some stuff. Neat. All right.
Wow.
3 points for you, boy. Hey, what can I say? Dodgers fans get down. So
Dodgers are the worst.
Let's just say.
That guy spiked a beach ball in my face at a Dodgers game.
Oh, yeah. They're getting after it.
Yeah, and then his 8-year-old flipped me off.
That's good. That's standard. I'm proud of our fellow Dodgers fans.
Rude. I was wearing a Phillies jersey.
So this is an unfortunate one, but it's sometimes a reality of stuff. We're partying too hard. We got people of all ages. Obviously, Steven Tyler, right? Steven.
Aunt Cheryl fell.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt. That was a vibe with that. So unfortunately, has either of you guys ever seen somebody pass away at a rally, whether accidental or just poor circumstances?
I've never seen anyone die ever.
A couple of years ago, we had a vendor who had been to 46 consecutive Sturgis motorcycles rallies, and he'd been with the Buffalo Chip for almost 20 years. And he celebrated his birthday every year at the Chip, and he was, I think, 87.
Damn.
Which I think the year before we celebrated his 86th year, and he has a patch seller named Grizz. He's notorious and well known throughout the motorcycle community because he's been around for so long. He's very hardworking, and he was just determined that he was still going to come to the rally that year. So he came to that rally that year, and a couple of years ago, and he set up his vending area and got ready to roll, and unfortunately he didn't die here on the property, but he had a medical crisis that
Yeah.
our medical staff had to lead him to the hospital where he did pass away. But we celebrate his life and recognize that he died the way he wanted to. He lived, you know, he was just going to keep on keeping on every day and being around the community. He was definitely an old school gypsy vendor that, you know, his family was the road.
Yeah.
And a lot of people and friends. So I haven't seen anybody pass away directly at the rally, but I think that's the closest
close,
I came
yeah.
to a personal relationship to someone that means a lot to us or meant a lot to us in our history.
I have a question though. Did someone man the booth when he was gone? Because he had it all set up.
It was weird. So it felt really weird. His assistant and travel partners, you know, it's kind of like the show must go on, but it became really awkward. And so we all decided to just honor him, leave it. We kind of left it as a memorial for that year, cool. For all of the customers and people who, you know, had shared life with him could come and remember him. And then the next year we moved on to, oh dear, sorry, that was my mother. I thought I'd turn.
Mother's always calling, you know.
It's all right.
Moms.
No, it's fun. He went out on his terms, you know, kind of thing.
He's like, the booth is done.
Yeah, the booth is done. I set it up. It's your problem
Time
now. Enjoy. I'm out. I put in my time. Very cool. Maybe some related incidents. Definitely a couple of serious injuries, especially at larger outdoor events or festivals. Some races. I don't think it's ever in real time seen that at a festival or an event. So, yeah, fortunate in that regard. I think the takeaway from a lot of the stuff, like the questions that we were asking, is like it's kind of cool to hear like some of your stories because so when you think about like, again, if you're new, like we got a lot of people moving to South Dakota. We got a lot of people, like younger people thinking about, hey, I'm out and about. What do I do with my time? What do I do with my summers? What do I do with these things? Like, you know, everyone wants to go to all the places, but like really, like right here in our own backyard, you can go to Sturgis, you can go to the rally. When you think about that, you think it's like it's dangerous, it's skeezy, it's sketchy. It's not. Like when you think about the buffalo chip and all the stuff you guys have going on and all the things like that really happen out there, it's just a lot of people having a good time.
Well, thank you for that. We appreciate that. It's kind of something that like. It shouldn't be an insider's know, right? It should be something that we share more outwardly because there are a lot of things that happen here. Like we have the Motorcycles as Art, which is a internationally recognized motorcycle art exhibit, multi-mixed media art. And, you know, it's open to the public to come and view. And, you know, we have our memorial filled with flags. We have our charity rides that raise a lot of money. We've raised over $1 million for almost $2 million for regional local charities to support programming in South Dakota for youth and women and the needy. It's just been, there's a lot of working parts of the business that people don't recognize. And then there's a lot of fun. It isn't, when we come and give people tours, and they're like, we had no idea that you have, you know, cabins and RVs and, you know, like little pockets of tent camping and fun organized rides. And it is good. I encourage anybody who's new to the area to check us out at buffalochip.com or to come out for a visit. Right now, like I said, the ADV group that's here, our big engine bar is open, free to the public by our entrance. And it's a fun environment, good people. South Dakota's made with good people, and it kind of, the business hopefully shows that.
Right.
I have one last question. Weirdest green room request you've ever heard of from your folks that you can talk about legally without violating any NDAs?
Mark Slaughter from Slaughter. I was bit by a black widow and my leg was necrosed up to my knee. And so I had to have a IV hung on the wall every day of antibiotics. And so I'd sit in the production office while I had to, you know, hook my IV up and do this whole thing. Because my mom's a nurse, they let her do it from the ER because of the Miller rally. And Mark Slaughter comes in and I said, what is this with your rider list? Like, what? And it's not a weird item, like, you know, rainbow colored Cheerios or anything. It was like 2 packs of 24 black crew socks. I'm like, we're not here doing your laundry. Like, we're not,
He's just
we're not
using
your
it.
mom. We're not buying your clothing. Like, what's the deal with the sock deal? And he's like, and he started laughing. He goes, listen, none of the guys are allowed on the bus after the show until they take off their socks and put on clean ones.
Got it.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
No stinky feet on the bus.
It's actually kind of a good thought. It's pretty funny. I thought it was funny. He's just trying to use you guys as a shopping list. Like, you mean like old school DoorDash? Like, if I'm going to go on tour across the country, I'm just going to buy I'm going to make my guys get me something at every green room.
And that's really true too. Like, I'm going to borrow your line there about old school DoorDash, because it really is. It's like some of those lists you look through, we've had the white linens and only white flowers and, candles at this height. And, you get all kinds of weird stuff. And then you go, well, we're in South Dakota. So, that's off the list. That's off the list. Are you going to starve to death or die? No. But then you try to accommodate the talent, because they are, the hugest part of the best party anywhere outside of the people who come here, and they entertain. And the marriage of the entertainment to the audience is something that's a really hard thing to describe. And I can't imagine what it feels like for an entertainer, but if you put like Keith Urban, best production quality of any show I've seen, and Miranda Lambert was out another year, and their connection with the audience, is just so strong. They take time to know the people, and you feel that energy throughout the show. And that's why we still have Leonard Skinner coming back after they're retired, and why we had, ZZ Top kept, coming back. And that was hard when things shift like that. And Toby's passing has been really hard, because those are people that really help. They feel like family to our family of campers and visitors, and people just make friends here.
Very cool. Very cool. So we're going to tally up some points. Toni, you've got 13, but I'm going to give you 2 honorary points. I think I skipped a question now that I'm looking back at this list. So you're at 15. According to our rating scale, you're on the very high end of the this isn't your first rodeo bracket. So things have been pretty good. You've seen a thing or two. Alana, you have 8 points.
I know. I live a sad life.
Your rally experience is fairly tame.
True. Well, you better get out here then. I better put you to work.
Okay, sounds good to me. I'm down.
I have 18 points, and that means you often find yourself in the middle of trouble. It's okay, though. You're a seasoned vet. So
okay. So
do with that information what you will.
I will. Yeah, I'll probably try to use that today as I prepare panickedly for this year's event. So we're definitely all boots on the ground and getting ready for everybody to show up.
Well, the top point says you should probably see a therapist, so it's probably good.
Oh yeah, that's the one where you're like 25 to 33 points. You've literally seen it all. Perhaps you should see a therapist next. I think that's a great piece of advice. This has been an awesome conversation, Toni. Thanks for chatting with us.
Yeah, especially when you're busy too.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time.
That's gave me an excuse, so I appreciate you for slowing me down for a little bit. So it's really nice. Appreciate all you're doing, and come out and visit us.
We shall.
I think we might do that. That'd be fun.
For sure.
We'll see you soon.
I'll roll some joints for people.
Hey, Snoop.
Maybe you could get a job for Snoop.
It's a family show.
All right.
It's a family show.
Take
Alana.
care.
Thank you, Toni.
Thank you. What a wonderful show today.
What a good time.
What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive.
What a time not to go to a baseball game, because I don't want to go to a game after that story.
Game? I think the Dodgers fans back in like 90s, 2000s were getting like early 90s.
Oh, this was a 90s game?
No, that was
that was Saturday.
When I was probably in high school, early high school, 04, 05. Maybe it would have been 04 or 05.
Interesting.
Something like that, yeah.
Well,
yeah, just some guys mixing it up in the parking lot, But hey, go get season tickets to the Dodgers game.
Well.
Anything else before we head home?
Hey, how about check out buffalochip.com?
Yeah, this was cool. I did not know all this stuff was going on out there with them specifically, and
Well, let's all pray for Steven Tyler.
It's all ripping apart.
And shout out to Brett Michaels and his nipples. I don't know why I always think of his nipples, because I think he had them out a lot during that show.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But like that's an odd this isn't the show to unpack this, but like I'm concerned for you that's something you have to do.
Do you think he has a fluffer? All right. Well, next time, guys.
Mr. Twister.
Mr. Twister.
Mr. Twister's on Bret Michaels' roadie crew.
All right, enough. We're done.
Cut the tape, Tone.
Trail man, let's go. You are now rocking with the. You are now you're rocking with the best. You are now.